Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. We're here with Ben today to talk about Kieran Dowell, who's on loan at Sheffield United at the moment, and Ben speaking to us from Blades Pod, a Sheffield United podcast. So first of all, I just want to say congratulations on the promotion to the Premier League, Ben. You're doing all right?
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I'm doing great, thank you. It's been sort of 2 weeks of celebration, I guess. We kind of sort of clinched promotion with our last home game, and the next day Leeds drew with Aston Villa, which mathematically sealed it. And then it's basically just been a bit of a party since then. We had the sort of parade in town yesterday, and it's sort of only just kind of sinking in, I suppose. I've just about half an hour ago finished recording our first kind of season review podcast, so that was a nice one to look back on it all. But yeah, it's been a heck of a ride. I can't wait for next season already, but keen to kind of keep drinking in this one, I suppose.
Yeah, we look forward to meeting you in the Premier League as well. We saw from those celebrations there was a video of Kieran Dowell singing his new song as well. Were you involved in that one?
Not so much. I definitely. He seems to love it, and the players have all definitely taken to him. And it's one of those very bad but good songs, I think. So it's become a bit of cult status, I suppose.
It has, yeah. It's entertaining anyway. How's he been playing though? Has he impressed you?
He has, yeah. I would say so. In January, we're in a good position in the Championship, but I guess we were lacking in a few areas. We have quite a particular way of playing, which is quite controlled. It's sort of based on basically pinning the opposition in, controlling a ball around their penalty area, and then trying to work overloads. And it's very effective. That's the cornerstone of what's been successful for us. But we did lack a bit of an alternative, I suppose. So we went out and got Gary Medine on loan, who obviously is a sort of prototypical target man kind of player that, if teams sit really deep against us, we could throw the ball into the box. And we picked up Kieran Dowell on loan, who I was very excited about. He was impressive, I think, in his loan spell with Forest last season. Is a kind of, I guess, dynamic young midfielder who he will try some different things. He's skillful. He'll try and make things happen. That was exactly what we needed, really. And he kind of gave us an option at number 10, I suppose, where we're quite reliant on Mark Toffee, who is also a Scouser, although I think he supports the other half of the city, I'm afraid. But he's 33, very, very good Championship player. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Premier League. He's a lovely technical footballer, but at his age, he can't go 90 minutes every single game, basically. So, yeah, Dowell was kind of brought in as that alternative, and I think he's done a good job. It kind of... funnily enough, we had to use him at left wing back in a couple of games because our central defender got injured. One of our back three, I should say. We moved our sort of starting left wing back into his position in the centre of defence. And Dowell filled in at left wing back, and he actually did a really good job there. You could tell he was not a left wing back, but I think Chris Wilder said it was the first time he's ever played that position at any level of football, which doesn't totally surprise me, but he did a good job there. And then, attacking wise, he's basically been exactly what I was expecting. As I say, he'll try a difficult pass, he'll try and beat someone, he'll try a shot from outside the area. As it is, he's ended up with chipping in with a couple of goals, got a vital winner away at West Brom that kind of sort of kick-started our run in the second half of the season, I suppose. And yeah, I like him. He seems to have fit in really well with the rest of the team, which is, it's a bit of a cliche, but it is a big part of what we're about. That kind of, I guess, self-policing dressing room. No morons or difficult characters. So it's good to see how well he's fit in. Like I say, the fans and the players have taken to him. He hasn't pulled up trees, I wouldn't say, but yeah, he's still a pretty young player. So yeah, I think he's done a good job, and I'm excited to see where his career goes.
Yeah, definitely. He was brought in, as you say, as a kind of backup to Mark Toffee, would you say? But how is he compared to him in that role? Has he been as good as Mark Toffee?
He's slightly different, which is why he's not started every single game. I think as I said, our game's kind of based on this controlling possession in the final third, essentially, and Duffy absolutely excels at that. His touch, his movement, his ability to play in other players is one of the best I've seen at Sheffield United in 25 years of watching us. Admittedly, only one of that year was in the Premier League, so it's a slightly lower level of opposition, I suppose. Dowell, as I say, is a bit more of a direct, dynamic option. he's not hugely quick or anything like that, but he will try and beat a man, take players on, run beyond people, and try shots from difficult areas, I suppose. Which as I say, in those games where teams have been kind of sat back against us and really packed the box, that's kind of what we needed in those games, and he's been very useful on the counter attack as well. I would say his best two performances have come in games where we've gone away to West Brom and to Aston Villa as well. And he's been used to kind of drive us forward on the counter and be that sort of, I guess, that more just a more sort of dynamic option to kind of carry the ball forward and get us into dangerous areas.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think those best performances as well? Just to ask, what position has he been best in terms of, he's performed well at left wing back, he's performed well at times at attacking midfield as well. But what role was he playing in those games? Like where's he performed better?
So I was attacking midfield was definitely his best role. I mean, you can tell defensively still got some work to do. Particularly, I mean, that's not. I wouldn't use that as a huge criticism of him because I don't know how much you or your viewers know about Sheffield United's style, but we commit a lot of men forward. We get our centre backs involved in the attack. There's this whole overlapping centre backs thing, which if you're not aware of now, you will be next season probably, because I imagine we'll be trying to do it in the Premier League next season. So it's very important that when one of them goes forward and gets into the box, our centre backs that is, someone else from the team rotates into that position, and that's something our midfielders are very good at doing. Dowell, obviously new to the team, only joined in January, so still kind of learning those responsibilities. And you could see in central midfield he's not quite there yet, I wouldn't say, in terms of his ability to kind of cover for his teammates and just general awareness. But those times we've used in an attacking role, getting him on the ball with a bit of space ahead of him as well, that's definitely been I'd say he's been one of our better players at doing that, at kind of attacking space, committing defenders that way, and trying shots, crosses, difficult passes from positions that we don't necessarily always get in.
Yeah, that's interesting. I thought it was interesting as well that he came to Sheffield United in the first place, because I would have thought that he'd go to a team where he'd kind of be guaranteed a starting place. I would have thought that's somewhere where Everton would send him. But I think this season, anyway, it might have been a new thing introduced under the new management at Everton, being Marcel Brands and Marcus over. I think we were looking to send our players out to higher championship sides rather than the lower ones, in terms of getting them experience of success and winning mentality kind of thing. So I think that's why he went to Sheffield United, to get that kind of winning mentality, because obviously that's probably what he's gained as well from getting promotion and things like that. But do you think he could do with another season in the Championship, or do you think he's ready for the Premier League?
It's a good question. I don't know. I would say he's probably ready. I'm not sure if he'd be ready for us and the way that we play, if you like. I think we'd have to almost crowbar him into a starting lineup a little bit. Again, not a criticism of his ability, just the system that we play is very particular. And as I say, he plays a slightly different role or his best abilities, I suppose, are used in a slightly different role. I mean, in terms of him being a starter, I think he was potentially brought here with that in mind. It's just Duffy has been phenomenal through the second half of the season, and I think it became apparent when we were having a slightly sticky spell that the best team had Duffy in it. And again, no slight on Dowell. It's just there's only room for one attacking midfielder in the way that we play. So I imagine he was kind of brought here as a starter. It just he ended up being a kind of rotation option instead, but still contributed in a very positive way, I think.
Yeah, definitely. He's a good technical footballer, isn't he? But one of his kind of weaknesses that I spotted during sometimes Everton was his decision making at times on the ball. Maybe he wasn't sure whether to run forward with it or whether to have a shot, and he just kind of at times struggled with making a decision and the final ball. Really, has that been apparent in his time at Sheffield United, or has he improved that?
I would say he's improved it, to be honest. I mean, it's a pretty small sample of 4 months essentially. But as I say, at the start, when he was used in that central role, it was apparent that some of his decision making wasn't great. He'd lose the ball on the edge of our area, trying something difficult instead of a kind of simple pass to break a press and get out of trouble. But I think as the season went on, that kind of I think that started to leave his game a little bit. Just as he got a better understanding of his teammates, of the structure of the team, the way that we play, etc. So. I think he probably has improved that, to be honest. And I mean, that's kind of something we see pretty much throughout every player that has played under Chris Wilder in the last few years. They all really make quite rapid improvements to their game. And that's why essentially a team that was in League One 3 years ago still has, quite a few players from that team as well, is now going to be in the Premier League.
Yeah, definitely. Would you like to see him stay with Sheffield United next year, and do you think he will as well?
I don't think he will, because I would imagine you'd want a lot of money for him. He's an England under-21 international who's got a big future ahead of him. I would like to see him stay with us, but I think you're only allowed 2 loan players in the Premier League. I'm fairly confident we're going to use one of those on Dean Henderson from Manchester United, the goalkeeper, who has been one of the best keepers in the Championship this season, won the Golden Glove Award, and the noises are that we will re-sign him. So that's one, and then I'm not sure if we'd want to allocate another one for somebody who may or may not start for us, I guess. But I like him a lot. I'd love for us to sign him, to be honest, like in terms of a permanent thing. But I can say I don't think we'll commit the budget to the amount of money that he would cost. So, But yeah, he's like I say, he's been a positive influence. He's fitted in really well. He's got his own song within a few months of being here, and I hope he goes on to have a very good career.
Yeah, me too. Do you think he's able to make it, Everton? But from what you've seen at him at Sheffield Wednesday, do you think he will be able to make it in the future at Everton?
Yeah, I think so. I would like him to. I'd like to see him get plenty more minutes for you. To be honest, he hasn't really played for Everton yet. Is that right?
No, he hasn't really. Not in the Premier League anyway.
Yeah, I think now might be the time to start integrating him more in. I mean, I watched since he's joined. I've watched quite a few of the England under-21s internationals to get a grasp of how they've used him. From what I saw, actually, they were using him in almost a number 8 role, quite a bit deeper, which was interesting because that's not how we particularly used him. But I think he kind of looks comparable to a lot of the midfielders that are playing in that team. So yeah, I hope next season, if he's not flourishing on loan somewhere else, then he's starting to get integrated into your team a bit more.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope we probably need a couple of midfielders anyway. We haven't really got solid backup to Goofy Sigurdsson at the moment. Maybe you could argue Tom Davis, but maybe Kieran Dowell can get in the team next year and provide that role. But thanks a lot for speaking to us anyway and letting us know about him.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Cheers.
My pleasure.
So that was Ben Meakin speaking to us from Blades Pod, just about Kieran Dowell and how he's been getting on. Obviously, I've kept tabs on how he's been getting on doing the loan reports for the Toffee Blues, which you should also check out. We should be having an end of season loan report coming out very soon to let you know how all the rest of the players you've got out on loan this season. And obviously, we'll carry on with a few of these videos. We've done a couple of them already on how the loan players have been getting on. We did one with a lad from the Gazette in Middlesbrough called Dom Shaw on how Mo Bez has just been getting on, so make sure you check that one out as well, which is also on the podcast and on the Toffee Blues YouTube. So I hope you've enjoyed the video anyways. Let us know what you think in the comments, and obviously like the video and subscribe to the Toffee Blues. But thanks for watching, and join us next time on the Toffee Blues.